You're welcome to today's episode of the Niger Ombudsman, and I want to say a big thank you for stopping by to watch the content on my channel. Remember that your continual support is what encourages content to be posted on this channel, so I count on your continual view of the videos. And remember, anyone you like, go ahead, proceed, press that like button, because what will make the content easily accessible for other viewers. And also, if you like the channel, why not proceed and subscribe to my channel. And I want to say a big thank you to those of you who have already subscribed. I really appreciate you guys. Today, I'm focusing on the last meeting, or the third quarterly meeting of the INEC chairman with the political parties as well as other interest groups in the forthcoming Nigeria presidential elections in 2023. And in that particular meeting, Mahmoud Yakubu spoke about the existing number of voters in the register, and he talked about new registrations. He also talked about the fraudulent activities of some of his officials, and also he talked about the BVAS machine, which is the bimodal voter accreditation system. And for the bimodal voters accreditation system, which abbreviated as BVAS, he did say that there was no going back on that, because for them that was what's going to make the election results reporting faster, and also more transparent and more reliable. And I stand with Mahmoud Yakubu's stance on this, because some of the fraudulent politicians have wanted the INEC to go back to the old system, which we facilitate their rigging. But INEC have stood to say that there was no going back on the BVAS system, which I believe will give more credibility to the forthcoming elections, as much as the INEC also should know that they have a responsibility to ensure that those machines are working well and they are available in all the polling units across Nigeria. With regards to the fraudulent activities of INEC officials, this connects to the previous video I have made concerning the outcry of CUPP, and that is the coalition of United Political Parties, and its spokesperson, Ikenga Ugochinyere. Remember that Ikenga Ugochinyere had cried out with the CUPP officials about a month ago that there were a great attempt by some politicians to ensure that the voters register is compromised, to the extent that they had infiltrated the INEC system through some of their officials to inject fictitious names of people, in some cases where there were names people as who were purported to have been born in 1914 and even much older, but bearing pictures of younger people fixed into the voters register. And this has been popularly known as, or is now popularly known as, the Omoma magic, because Omoma is a town in Imo State, where the governor comes from. And that particular area, despite its smaller population in the particular ward in question, they were purported to have registered well over 40,000 people. And so that has been part of the outcry, because this fraudulent scheme is said to be spread across Nigeria. And so that has forced INEC to now go back to begin to sanitize the voters register. In this particular case, 23 officials of the INEC have been indicted, and they are all undergoing investigation right now, because these officials have used their position to begin to put in names of voters based on the fact that they have been compromised by some politicians. So they have injected fictitious names of people into the register, and this has made the voters register to become bloated. But now the officials have been identified, and there's an ongoing investigation and to identify those people who have been injected into the system. And so far, 2.78 million out of the new voters that were registered has been identified as ineligible registrants. I would say that is a huge number. 22.6% of newly registered voters have been said to be ineligible registrants. So 2.78 million is a huge number. And so, but INEC also should understand that they should also look at cases where maybe there have been mistakes by genuine registrants, so that people are not disenfranchised. So far, there were 12.29 million new registered voters, and of these 2.29, we see that of these 12.29 newly registered voters, 2.78 were identified as ineligible registrants. And so the valid number of new registrants is 9,518,188. So these are the valid new registrants in the most recent ongoing voters registration. And so far, the in this new registration, 7.2 million were aged 18 to 34 years old. So which means that of these new registrants, 76.5 were young people, very young people. 76.5. So which means that the youth have really woken up to their civic responsibility. So if we have 76.5 of recently registered voters under 34 years age, that is quite commendable. And I think the youth basically have seen the damage that results from poor leadership, and so they have awoken to take things into their hands. Of these 7.2 million new registrants, 4.8 million are females, thumbs up for the women, and then 4.6 million are males. Of these also, 3.8 million are students. Of course, students have also seen the consequence of having the wrong people in power. And so far, before this new exercise, there were 84,004,084 voters. So the existing people or number of voters was 84,004,084,000. And if we add the new valid registrants, it is a total now of 93,522,272 voters. So these are the number of people we now have in Nigeria's voters register: 93,522,272. We also have to understand that it's important for us as a nation to have a valid database, because we know of the existing 84 million plus voters, many have died, and many maybe would have emigrated. If we have a valid database system where we have that is a unified database system, those who have died already would have been taken off the voters register, as is done in more developed nations. And also, regarding the forthcoming elections, there are 8,809 registration areas or wards, and like you know, Nigeria has 774 local government areas. So, for those of you who want to verify that you are in the register from Saturday the 12th to Friday 25th of this month, November, INEC will be posting the register in the different wards. So go and check and verify that your name is in the register. If your name is not there, you are free to raise such concerns with the INEC so that they can look into the matter. And also, INEC have also challenged Nigerians to help them in sanitizing the register as they post it during this period. So if you know anyone maybe who is had been fraudulently brought into the register, still raise the concern with the INEC. But I thank Dr. Mahmoud Yakubu and the INEC for their openness, and they should continue to know that it is their transparency that will help this election to be a very peaceful one, that the result can easily be accepted. And once again, I want to say a big thank you to Ikenga Ugochinyere and CUPP for consistently raising concerns concerning the voters register. And they must not stop. They must not stop. They must continue to connect with insiders who are aware of the ongoings within the organization, so that any concerns can easily be brought to the INEC authorities as well as the general public, so that we are all aware of whatever is going on the inside. Because at the end of the day, we all want a credible election. We all want a peaceful election. We all want an election that at the end of the day, the result is open and easily accessible to everybody. I pray that God will bless Nigeria and all those who are working honestly to see a better Nigeria. May God bless you all, and see you in my next video.